of late you also see diversity of grains coming into breakfast cereal market, and millet has become kind of a revival of the ancient grains, of the forgotten foods that our forefathers ate for almost 10,000 years. Millet is as old as probably agriculture. So now millets are also incorporated in the breakfast cereal segment. So compared to wheat or oat, other cereals which need to be processed, for example corn and oat, both you need to remove the endosperm, the head and tail has to be cut, and only the starchy part has to be used for making cereals. But in case of millets, you can use the whole grain, and it is easy to retain all the goodness in millets. So as breakfast cereal, I think today millets are also known as nutri-cereals. It's a nice way of naming these grains today. So beginnings is a breakfast cereal made out of millets, and only millets. That's the difference. If you ask me today, what are some of the issues or health concerns with the breakfast cereals, I would strongly say that very high sugar. Sugar in various forms. It could be glucose syrup, it could be corn syrup, high fructose corn starch syrup, maltodextrin, dextrose, maltose, various forms of sugar, but ultimately they are all sugars, and one is more dangerous than the other. So in one breakfast you may have your daily quota, not a quota, daily limit of, you may transcend the daily limit of sugar. India is basically a dry land country, and 60% of Indian land is dry land. That's where we grow our millets, and if we can use our own crops, which helps our own farmers. If you look at today, the whole world has got kind of a oat mania. Fundamentally, oat is a horse food, but it has become such a dominant food in the breakfast and in almost all processed food. You can't today, you say you want health, add oat. Not exactly. Oat may be good. We import a lot of oat from Australia. If you compare just with the fiber in oat, fiber in millet, oat, that too rolled oats with removed bran and all that, has got only, if you can just look at any label, you will see about only 9% fiber. Millets contain about 16 to 17% dietary fiber. They're very high in dietary fiber. And morning meal has also to be, from the point of view of naturopathy, has to be alkalinizing, which means that most of the food that we eat are acid forming. Millets are beyond this nutrition content and table, they are alkalinizing. And most of the people suffer today from acidity. They say, show me a house without antacid, or show me a home without a diabetic patient. If somebody says it's a millet breakfast cereal, it should be mainly millet based, multi-millet based, not single millet. Preferably those forgotten minor millets like proso, foxtail, barnyard, kodo. These are the ones that we have forgotten. We still have dominant usage of jawar and pearl. So when we say millet, our focus should be on these forgotten minor millets, which I mentioned about foxtail, proso, barnyard, little and kodo. These are the ones which are going out of circulation, which is going out of cultivation. We need to bring them back. So if we can use those minor millets, which are also highly nutritious. When we say beginning is millet, mixed millet muesli or mixed millet breakfast cereal, it is completely out of only millets. You see it in the market when somebody says millet, then they say 50% oat. Then they say it has got 30% wheat. Simple question is, how can it be a millet muesli or a millet breakfast cereal? So we want to cut this clutter and simply say that when we say millet, it's only millet and it's only minor millet. Unpolished, all nutrition retained and no added sugar. Taste is fundamentally a cultivated habit. If you cultivate your palate without sugar for a month, you're going to like it. You're going to enjoy the food that way. I think usage of these millets, incorporating them into very convenient food format that the whole world uses today, and bringing millets back into our table is very, very important.